Good evening, guys. My name's Dan. I'm one of the account managers here at Pitch Hero. I hope you're all well. I think we've given people plenty of time now to log on. Hopefully, you can all see my screen and hear me. If you can't, there is a section in there where you can put the questions in, just to say you can't, you're having trouble or anything like that. There will be a section at the end as well where you can ask some questions and go through. But hopefully, what we're going to do today is cover it all off within the presentation that we've got for you. We're doing a slideshow today. There's small videos in there that we're going to show you. I'm going to show you a little bit on the desktop as well. But without further ado, as I say, let's get going. Okay. Let's just move on. First technical hitch, which is never good. Here we go. Okay, so first of all, as I say, welcome to the webinar. So let's go across a couple of things that we're going to cover at the moment. First one is introduction to the match fees. So we're going to go through, explain a little bit about why you can use them and what's the best way to use it, and moving on from the old-fashioned way, as we say now, of using cash. We're going to talk about how we set it up. We're going to show you how to select players and request payments. We're going to show you how the members pay as well on their club app. Then we're also going to show you how to view and track payments as well. So here we go. So first of all, the Pitch Hero status. Just to let you all know, everything is back to normal. We're running everything as normal. All staff are back now on full-time hours. So don't forget, we're all here for you. Support can be contacted at support@pitchhero.com, or you can book a call with your account manager. That's me, Dan Ingham, or you can book your one with Joe Fisher. If you haven't got one and you're wanting to come across some demos or ask some questions, again, if you go to pitchhero.com/demo, again, that shows you how you can book demos, webinars, and things like that. Again, this is what happens when you try and book a call. It will come up with a calendar like this. You choose your date, which day you want to go on, choose a time that's available, book it, fill out the information, then somebody from Pitch Hero will come back and give you a call. Okay, so as well, just before we start as well, we've launched a brand new clubhouse. I don't know if anybody's seen it as yet, but if you type in Pitch Hero /clubhouse, it comes up, gives you all different sorts of things on there. There's all these presentations on there. You can book a demo. You can see where your club is within the actual stats, if you're in the top 10 rugby clubs, football clubs, things like that. It also gives you 15 reasons why to use match fees. It explains it why. So we'll just put a few key ones here that we're going to explain and let you listen to. So increased revenue. Now, I know from my days of dealing, coaching and managing and things in the rugby circles, I know obviously it's so difficult. You're trying to collect match fees. Somebody always says to you, I've got no money with me, I'll pay next week, but I've forgotten, and I'm sure they've got away, over the years with tens, if not hundreds of pounds, because I've forgotten something else has come up. I've had something else to deal with, and I forgot who's paid and who's not paid. This way, when you're tagging everybody in the payments, nobody can get away, because it will turn to green to say paid, and that way again we can keep chasing them. So I know that's going to make your life easier. It's quick and it's easy requesting of payments. So again, I used to sit down at the table with a pad and a pen and say, right, can you play next week? Yep, give us your subs. And again, it just takes so much time and chasing payments all the time. You can track and record payments as well, which is really, really good. So again, we can go back over the match. We can go back over the match to see who's paid, who's not paid. Again, you can see those people that constantly don't pay. And if your club has that no pay, no play rule, again, makes life a little bit easier for you. Because I think we all agree, don't we? We've all got that type of person within the club. Track and record every payment, like I've just said. You can process payments 24/7. So it may be you think to yourself, oh, I need to prompt that person again to pay. You're up late one night. Again, you don't have to think, oh, I dare text him now because it's after 10 o'clock. You can just process the payment and send the request through, and it goes through to their club app as well. And the last one, really, I know what we've mentioned, which is a big thing, I know I've been here as well, is it keeps your volunteers safe. There's no paper forms, no cash, no trips to the banks. I spoke to a treasurer probably about 6 months ago now, and they'd had some of the registrations day, and he turned around and he said he'd got nearly £4,500, £5,000 in cash. He says, well, first thing is the club's not insured for that sort of money walking off the premises. And he says it's just not safe, and handling all that cash, especially in the current climate, with COVID that's around. It's something that we've got to think about as well. And again, no paper form, so there's no chance of losing it. I've done it as well, where I wrote it down on a bit of paper somewhere, and I think I popped it into my pocket. Then on the Sunday and Monday, I'm thinking, where's that bit of paper gone again that I wrote it down on again? So it stops that and makes life a little bit easier for you as well. This is why, again, cash in hand no longer works. Mentioned before, team captains are responsible for a large amount of cash. It's not always ideal. The handling cash, like we've just said, is best to be avoided. Members can easily get away without paying, as we've just said as well. And it's difficult to keep a track of who owes what. And again, something we've put in there again, the captain often drinks too much, goes to the bar, and if he's got some of the players there at the side of him, it's quite easy for him to, buy a round of drinks or something from that as well. So that's quite good as well. So Adam, I've just looked at the question, how do I get the sound? The sound should be on, Adam. I don't know if you need to just take it off mute, or if you need to turn it up on your whichever device you're using. So, introduction to match fees. This is now live for all clubs. It went live roughly about 2 weeks ago now. And in that 2 weeks, the first week we didn't really promote it because, again, we wanted to make sure everything was running fine. I was sent an email out, I think it was last week. So far, over 210 teams have already enabled match fees. Excuse me. It takes less than 5 minutes to set up. It really is that quick to set up. I'm just going to play you a little bit of a video now, so have a look at this and we'll have a chat about it after. It only goes on for about a minute or so. Oh, hang on. We're not going to play that video for some reason. It's not working, but it's not a problem. It was just showing you how the actual match fees. Actually, we will go back to it. Beg your pardon. So we're just going to load up. We're just going to play that for you now. Excellent. So there's just a small video that we put together to say the match fees are actually coming. Right, what will you need to enable you to set up the match fees? So all match fees originally need to be set up on desktop. Now you only need to set them up on desktop for the amounts that you're going to do, which we'll go into in a moment, I'll explain. But you need a webmaster, access to payments. Coaches need team access, team admin access, so they can use the manager app. The way it's been set out is to take a lot of pressure off, the webmasters and things out there. So each team manager, coach, captain can request payments as well for each individual team that they're coaching or managing. Players or parents, they need to be registered on the website. Again, if it's a child, it has to be a parent-child account, so that has to be linked and registered on the website. And they need, obviously, the club app, which you need to use as well. But we will come into that as we sort of go on a little bit further. So how to set this up at your club? You need to set up a Stripe account, set the fees for your teams, and start collecting match fees. It really, really, really is as simple as that. We put together a small video here of how to do it, but I will go into desktop and show you whereabouts in the desktop it is. So we'll just play this video which shows you. You can see there, go into match fees on the desktop. Click get started. There is a small video there that you can watch if you want to do. Again, ask the questions and it's just a case of following them through. So if I just come back to that there and just pause, just come back to that there, beg your pardon, and just pause that there. Here it's asking the question, do you charge the same amount? So for instance, I know at my club it's if you start, it's a set amount. If you're a student, you pay a set amount. If you're a sub, you pay a set amount. So that's what it means by, again, do you actually pay the same fees? So this is not, so you give it a name. So you can name it as first team, whichever you want to do, open age, juniors, whichever you may need to do. And this, as you can see here, what's happening here is he's setting the rates. So what you can do, you can put, for instance, here he's put starter, which is £5. I think he puts student here, then he puts a sub. And again, this is all the different amounts that you have. Now you can set up as many of these as you want. So you can set up one for your first team, second team, colts, juniors, minis, whatever it may be. It may be your club just pays one, but you can set up as many of these as you wish. As you can see, he's just filling this in now. I'm saying he because it was Joe, the other account manager, that did this video for us. Once that's done, click next. So it now asks you to add the teams. So here is where you pick which teams this represents. So it may be, you keep saying seniors, it may be your seniors all pay the same amount, no matter if you're in the first team, 15, 16, whatever it may be, you also. This is where you tick which ones it applies to. So you'll see here, I think he clicks just the first team, clicks next, and it mentions, have you got any more match sets you want to set up? If not, you can always come back and set them up. And there you go, you're good to go. Okay, so if I just come out of this and we just go into this here. So this is a test site that we've got within Pitch Hero. So I just want to show you where this is. So it's into shop and payments, into your match fees. We've kept it away from the other section of shop and payments, so it's on its own here. And again here. So you can see here where we set it up, senior match fees. We can add match fees, so if you want to add some for the juniors or anybody else, we can add another section. And again, underneath, you can see here on the desktop side, these are people that have been tagged in it, and again, they've not paid. I'll come back into this a little bit later on after the presentation. So let's just find out where that's gone. Here we go. So selecting your team and requesting payments. Bill the players who are actually played using your team selection. So what this does, if you do use your team selection on the Pitch Hero website, you can transfer that team selection across into it. If not, don't worry, you can add the players manually. You can select them and add additional players where it needs to be added. This can be done in the desktop or within the manager app. Now, we have designed this to work in the manager app really, really well. So we're trying to promote people, you know, to come away from your desktop, to take a little bit of pressure off you guys and go into the manager app and do it. So we will sort of go into that slightly later as well. I can see questions are starting to come through. We will get to these when we get a moment. So this is what we're going to do now. A little video again Joe's put together about selecting your team and requesting payment in the app. So we'll just press play there. So again, this is the app. So you go into the fixture here. Again, at the bottom there, you can see there is a new section there called match fees. So we've gone into the fixture, and there you can see where the mouse is there, match fees. And again, there's no player selected in here, so there's no selection, so we're just going to add them. So as you can see on the right-hand side where the blue plus sign is adding all those players in there now. I think he adds about 11, does he? Yes, he does. And again, what happens here, it defaults to the main amount that's set. So if it's a starter, for instance, £10, it will default to that. What you would then need to do is just click into the person, which you'll see in a moment, and you can put down, maybe if it's a student, there you go. So you can see there, he clicks into the person, and again, he's already changed a couple there to students, to subs, and things like that. So it's as easy as that to do that. And there you go. It all comes across. He's clicked submit, it's sent it out, it's sent all the requests out to people, and as you can see, it's now in red. What you can do now, what he's just saying here is, you can go into them, and if they decide to give you cash, you can see here, you can pay cash, or you can press pay cash, put the money down, or if they haven't paid it again, you can request it again. So if you request it again, another request will go through to their players app, club app, and it will say, you need to go in now and pay your match fees, please. So there you go, he's click paid in cash. And again, you can put a note in there, as you can see, or you can click paid in cash. You can change it if you think, oh, I've got that wrong as well. So you go back in, you can change the amount. The amounts are set so people can't type over them, because we know some clubs have sort of said to us, the captains do have a tendency of going in if you've only got 20 minutes at the end of the game. They've said just give us, £2 or £3, for instance. That's not able to do now. It is what you've done and what you've set there. So that can be done. So I'm just now going to go into the desktop, and I'm just going to show you here how that can be done. So we go into the teams. We go into the first team. We go into the fixture. So we'll go, for instance, here, Newcastle Cricket Club. And as you can see here at the top now, there is a new tab in there now that says match fees. So if I click into match fees, it gives me the opportunity now to add players manually, or I can use the previous game selection. So if it's the same team, you're fortunate enough to have the same team week in, week out, you can do that. So if I click use Huddersfield CCs, as you can see there, it's got everybody in there. If I want to change that to be a sub, I can do. All you do to process that is just come out and click out of it again. So Maisie here, or she's a student, I click student, come out of there, and it's there. The match fees are all there. Just get rid of that bar. And if I just click send, you can see it's all now changed to red. So you can see there, for instance, not paid. So if I want to go into it now, I'll just click into Christie there. I can put here, paid cash, confirm, it's there. And I can pay cash. If I want to add a note on it, I can add a note. I was just leaving the club, and she said to me, oh, Dan, here's some cash again. So I just click into it, and then you can do this in the app as you're leaving the club. Paid cash, confirm, it's paid cash. So that is how you do it within your desktop as well. So we'll just click out of that. We'll go back into the presentation. Okay, so the next thing really is, once you've done that and you've set everybody's payments, you're probably thinking now, well, how do we collect them? How does the actual player or the parent see them? So this can be done through the club app in their picture account. So as you can see here, they can go in, you see the little monocle there at the top there. So if I just come back out of that, there's two ways. You can have a log into their account. So you can see here, obviously my account's up here. I click into that and I can go into my account. But what we're trying to say to them is, if you just go into your club app and then you can pay it. So that will just come up next for you. So again, that's just a small video Joe's done, again, just to show you how they can collect. So I'll play that and talk you through. So here we go, here's a club app. It's a test site that we've got. As you can see there, we'll just go back and I'll just pause that for you slightly. So we can see when they go into the club app there, they have got the £10 that's outstanding. So you can see that there, okay. If they've got multiple payments, so they haven't paid the week before, there'd be another £10 in there. And they are able to pay that all at once as well. So they don't have to keep going individual. They can go in and they can pay for it all at once as well. Let's click play to continue it through. So here, this is the two sections we've got. So if it's an Apple phone that they've got and they've got Apple Pay, dead easy. They just put pay Apple Pay, put the thumbprint on or fingerprint, whichever it may be, and it's paid. It's as quick and as simple and as easy as that. If they haven't got that, if it's another type, and they can pay by card. So I think if we follow through here, I think Joe's going to pay by card. There you go, he's clicked pay by card. It says which card you're going to pay in. If you've paid previously on Stripe, it will keep your bank details on there. But as I say, it's very, very secure, or you can change the card. I think you just put random numbers in here, and obviously it's just going to show how you can pay it. Ask you for your name, save the card details if you want. There's a box there, so you can just go in every week, and then you can pay it. So it really, really, really is that simple. Again, I'll just mention, I can see plenty of questions sort of coming in. I will get to these, as I say, at the end. There is a section for the questions. So how to view and track payments made. You've already seen in the desktop as well, you can see what's been paid and what's not. This can be done through the manager app or the club control panel. So we've seen the club control panel, the manager app again, you can see them in there where it's paid. You can go in and you can see that for you. All you would need to do is click the fixture that obviously it's relating to. So you might want to say, right, who didn't pay last week? Click the fixture, go into the match fees tab, and again, you can request them to pay it, or if you need to do, just give them a nudge as well. But they will see when they go into this week's match fees as well, there'll be one outstanding. So again, we put a small little video together for you, how to view and track payments made in the app. So we'll just play that. Again, click into the fixture, click into the match fee tab at the bottom, as we've said, and there you go. It shows you again who's paid, who's not paid. And again, you can put the request, you can request it again, depending on what you want to do, but hopefully that will be all green for you. But it really, really is as simple and as quick as that. Okay. So, right, in summary, it's quick and it's easy to set up. You need to enable Stripe. It will not, I don't know if you're aware, we use two systems here at Pitch Hero. We use Go Cardless, which is a direct debit system, and we use Stripe, which is a debit card, credit card system. So you will need to enable to set it up. When you're setting up Stripe as well, it might start asking you for some questions and bits and pieces like that, asking you for certain numbers. What we're being told is as well, if you just set it up as a sole trader, and that will help you able to set it up a lot quicker as well. So name your fees. You can call them whatever you want to call them, whether it be Saturday fees, Sunday fees, juniors, seniors, whatever it may be. Set the amounts. So you just set the amounts, how much to start, sub, student, concession. It could be anybody, we don't know. Select the relevant teams that go in there. Again, there's no limit to the amount of different lots you can set up. Once you've set it up, though, at the current time, you're not able to delete it. But again, you don't have to use that set. You can just use a set that you require. So if you didn't want to use that, just remove the teams from it, and nobody will do that. We are working very, very hard at the moment to get a lot more reporting in there for you as well, and bringing more things. We're told hopefully that will be by our fantastic development team. We're told that will hopefully be in the next 4 to 6 weeks, all being well. So that's what they're doing on there for you. Click back into the fixture to see who has and who hasn't paid. Nice and straightforward. Send additional prompts to those people that are continually, not refusing to pay, should we say, but they're difficult to collect from. And again, as I've just mentioned, more reporting tools will be available very, very soon, so watch this space. Feedback. We've had some great feedback so far, the amount of people. So Digsby Northern Hockey Club at the moment. I know not all sports are playing at the moment. My sport, rugby, they're saying January at the earliest, but I'm not hopeful at all. I know a lot of indoor sports are not going on, but I know football and hockey are going on at the moment. So fingers crossed we'll get through this horrible time and we'll all start playing again, because I don't know if anybody else is like me. They're absolutely bored of going shopping with their wife on a Saturday. And I need sport to come back desperately. So Digsby Hockey, they are playing. And again, just paid match fees. This truly is the future, they've said there, which is true. Harborne Hockey Club replied to them, no more, I've got no cash at me, I'll pay next week. We've got loads of those, and you see them at the bar with a drink in the hand after the game, and you think, hang on a minute, I didn't think you had any money to pay your subs. No more sticking it all in a box until March. and realise you're carrying thousands to each game, which we talked about, didn't we? Which I'm sure we've all been there. Again, Keith said here, it's the way ahead, but the charges will add up to a reasonable sum by the end of it. And Didsbury's come back and said true, but it's balanced out by the increase in revenue collected and the lack of accounting errors, and they've put there based on experience. So yes, depending on what package you're on, there is a small fee to pay, which partly Pitch Hero and partly Stripe as well. But again, like we've said, the more funds that you will collect this way really helps you, as a club to gain more money and not lose out on revenue. If you think about how you've been doing this, the paper-based system for the last 10, 15, 20 years, add it up really, how much have you lost? And it probably goes into the thousands. I know it doesn't my club, for, definitely. And again, Newcastle Hockey Club there has put Game Changer. Joe did tell me who that was. I'm not sure who it is, but it's from some sitcom, I think, apparently. And again, somebody's put there, welcome to the world of tomorrow. That's Birkenhead Hockey Club. They're absolutely loving it as well. So, the testimonials are there. Clubs are using it. It's making life so much easier and straightforward for you guys as well. So, right, question time. Let me have a look where we are with the questions. And as I say, I'll try and get to you all and we'll see what we can do. So the first question is, Adam did say, how do I get sound? So I hope, Adam, you got your sound and everything was fine. Next question is from Helen. Let's have a look, Helen. So let's just open this up. Does it have to be Stripe? Can you go through cardless? As I mentioned, Helen, yes, it does have to be Stripe. We've set it up that way so it's easier and quicker for you guys as well. So that's the reason why we have set it up that way. So Harry's put here, this may be coming, but is it possible to apply a rate to a person, i.e. a member £5 per game, juniors pay £2 game and non-members pay £7, and that their standard rate. So yeah, I think what you're trying to say there is you'd be able to tag it to each individual person. No, you can't tag it to each individual person. It has to go per team. So you'd have to put, if you've got 3 payments there, Harry, what you would have to do is put the £5, £2 and the £7. And again, you can just go into that member and change them. It always defaults to the first one that you put down because majority obviously do pay the sort of the full game fee as it may be. Then, as I say, you've got your concessions and juniors and students and things after. So yeah, it can't be tagged or to individuals. It has to be go to per team. Adam's asked here, would like to know whether we can handle reimbursements of petrol money for taking other players. Adam, that's not something we've really thought about, really. I know my club does that as well. If we're travelling over a certain distance, we do give petrol money out. So the question is, no, it's not. And as far as I'm aware, there is no plans to do anything like that either at the moment for reimbursement of petrol as well. I've also was asked as well on a previous webinar about paying like umpires and things like that. There's nothing in the pipeline as yet. This is solely just to help you collect at the moment. But never say never. We don't know, but there's nothing in the pipeline at the moment. Sarah said here, if you have a player selected for 2 games, we only charge for 1. You mark 1 as paid, but how do you treat the others so you don't chase them with a reminder? Good point, good question, Sarah. I suppose really the thing to do there is don't tag them in the second game. So if you instead of having say 11 people, whichever it may be, whatever sport you're playing, just tag the 10 people, and you're not chasing him or her, should I say? So just tag them for 1 game and don't tag them for the second game. I hope that helps on that. Sarah said again here, we've struggled to get folk to join the website and download the app. That's our first challenge. I agree with you completely. It is difficult, to get people to buy in. It's by explaining the benefits to them and explaining what happens. Have I got any tips around that? I suppose it's more of a club decision where I suppose, it has to be done at committee level or senior level where you decide to say, look, we're going to use Pitch Hero, we're going to use it, you have to sign up. Otherwise you don't play. I know that's not always a luxury, with some clubs who don't have enough players, and sometimes it's a case of that. But I think it's really, stop people using, like Facebook, WhatsApp and things like that and say, look, it really will help you if we all buy into this. Tip from me, try and get a couple of influential players, parents, if it's juniors, to say, look, can you buy into this, and get them to sort of spread the word as well. That's the sort of tip I can give you on that. Hope that helped. Richard's asked a question. Can the Treasurer see a master list for every player and junior? That's coming, is that, Richard? As I mentioned before, we are working on a lot of reporting tools at the moment to try and make your life easier. What we wanted to do in the first instance was get it out, get you using it. Then once, obviously, it's used as well, you can see who's paid by each individual match. But at the moment, you can't see a master list. But that is coming. You will be able to have that, hopefully, within the next 4 to 6 weeks. Harry said, thanks, no problem, Harry, no problem at all. David's asked here, are you able to collect other fees in membership fees as well as match fees? Your membership fees, David, come under your shopping payments and your products. If you've got an account manager, or if you go to book a demo, either myself or Joe will quite happily do a demo and show you how the membership fees work as well. We can do that for you as well. One question we have been asked about the match fees, can we change it to pay for training fees? Something we are looking at, yes, and hopefully that's going to come very, very soon as well. I know, for instance, cricket, who do start the netting again, is about January time you start your netting. Again, you charge, £3, £4 per net. So they've said, well, can we charge for netting as well? Yes, again, that's going to come hopefully sooner rather than later. Petrol question from Sarah. Let's have a look. Just apply a different match fee. Sarah, great answer. Great answer. So yeah, so if you say, right, if you're driving, you only pay half or whatever you may do, you can do it that way. I think I was sort of under the impression you wanted to sort of pay out rather than take it in. So yeah, again, set a different one. Again, if they don't pay, I know, Michael, if you drive over a certain distance, you don't pay your subs. Again, just don't tag them in the payments as well. So you can do it that way. Okay. David's again's asked here. Also, how does it show on bank statements? See, my treasury set doesn't moan at the work out what's what. It will come through in lump sum. Now, I know you can get a printout from Stripe, which you can get. But again, what will happen is here, once the reporting tools come in, you'll be able to get that from Stripe, see the lump sum that's coming to the account. You'll be able to get the actual figures off the Picturo site as well, and they'll be able to tally it up. So you can see £210 went into the account. It can then look down and say, right, the £210, open up the Picturo site, and it will say here, are made up of these subs for these teams here. So yes, once that comes through, as I say, as soon as possible, hopefully within 4 to 6 weeks, it will all be there for you. Sarah's asked again, difficult not to tag a player for the second game as they'll be playing at a different venue, so perhaps we'd need. Yeah, I get what you're saying, Sarah. So again, if it's somebody who doesn't know they played yesterday, what would you do? You can't put a zero match fee in as an option as yet. It's something I will mention to the developers. I will explain that as a question and say, you are looking at that, so I'll make sure that's brought up for you. Sarah, let me come back to you on that if that's okay. If I'll get your details up here, Sarah, and I'll drop you an email tomorrow, and we'll have a look at that, because that is a very good point, and I'm not 100% sure how we'd get around it. I know we can't put a zero match fee in there. I suppose the old-fashioned way would be, to communicate. And she said she's played, or he's played yesterday as well. But in an ideal world, we want to make it as easy as we can for you. So as I say, Sarah, I'll come back to you tomorrow with that. Harry's asked, we have a club annual membership fee that dictates the game cost for each person. Is it possible for the team captains to see who's paid that annual fee, or do we need to track that separately? Harry, good question. I was asked this the other day as well. So as it stands at the moment, the answer is no, you would have to track it separately as well. And I know some, like for instance, cricket clubs pay, if you pay X amount membership, you only pay £5 subs. If you're doing pay as you play, it's £15, £10, whatever it may be. So the answer to that is yes, you'd have to track that separately, or we'd have to look at a workaround for you on that. But that again is something which I'm not sure of. I'll take your details, Harry, obviously off this today, what you inputted at the beginning, and I'll come back to you on that, and I'll let you know how we can do that. But for the current time being, it is a case of just having to track that separately. Richard's asked again, did you explain Clubhouse as promised? I had to nip out, so may have missed it. Catch up on the video. So yeah, everybody will be sent a copy of this video to send around, this audio, should I say, not video. That's the last thing you want to see is me on video. Everybody will be sent the audio, so you can send it round, obviously, people within your club. The Clubhouse, yeah, what the Clubhouse is, Richard, it's a new landing site that we've got within Pitch Hero. So it shows you where you are in your Pitch Hero rankings. It shows you how to book a demo. It shows you how to book on for one of these webinars. It's got all different hints and tips and stuff in there. So if you just go in and type Pitch Hero / Clubhouse into Google, it will come up and you can have a look around it as well. So I hope that helps. Sarah's gone. We get quite a few zero match fees, so it would be great to have one. Catch you tomorrow. Yeah, Sarah, no problem at all. Leave it with me. As I say, I will look into it, and if not, I'll find a workaround for you on that. Harry's just said again, thanks, Dan, much appreciated, no problem at all. Richard has said thanks, no problem at all. And I've got another one here from Richard May. Let's have a look, Richard, what we said. Treasury question. What are the fees for Stripe, please? Are they comparable with GoCardless? Yes, they are. I think off the top of my head, depending on which package you are, it's a minimum of 20 pence, and I think it's 0.03% more than GoCardless. But again, if you get in touch with your account manager or with support, they'll let you know the fees. And again, I think when you go into your payment providers as well, it tells you your fees there as well within the desktop. So yeah, they're almost identical. I think they're slightly higher, 0.3 or 0.4%, which is not a lot at all. And if you think about, as I say, all the missed payments that you are going to get. Sarah, can you use Apple Pay on both? Sure, I read somewhere you couldn't on one. I'm not sure what you mean there. You can use Apple Pay with Stripe because it's a card payment system. Can you use Apple Pay on both options? Stripe and GoCardless. Okay, so the answer to that is yes, you can use it on Stripe. No, you can't use it on GoCardless. Because GoCardless is a direct debit system. So that has to set up the direct debit. Now, it could be for a one-off payment that you want to take in the future, or it could be for monthly, as I say, amounts that you want to do. So that is the reason you can't use GoCardless. GoCardless is just for Stripe only as it stands at the moment. But I'm sure with where technology is going, there may be a way in the future that may change, because as I say, we're getting on with stuff. Helen's asked me on here, anyone had any issues setting up Stripe? I've not come across anybody setting up with problems having issues, Helen. I've had a couple of people come back to me and say that they've asked for what is our club number and what's our this number and that number. So the way Stripe has said to us, if you set it up as a sole trader, it won't be asking those questions. Helen, if you're having problems setting it up, get in touch with your account manager or speak to support@pitchhero.com. They will happily talk you through it. But as I say, or just book it in with the account manager, and that way we can give you a call and we can have a chat as well. So that's not a problem at all. Yeah, no problem, Helen. And Richard said, do you know if Google Pay can be used? Good question, Richard. As it stands at the moment, no. Google Pay and Android Pay the same thing, aren't they now? Because there's so many different types. I was told this by a developer, which I was quite impressed by. But because Google and Android are the same thing, there is that many different devices for the Android at the moment. It can't be done. It's something that we're going to look at in the future, depending on what happens with Google Play, Google Pay, should I say, not Play, Google Pay and Android. So that is something that is down the line, but at the moment we don't. It's not accepting that. Apparently, it's quite a common fault with Google Pay and Android as well about paying for things on apps. So that's watch your space going forward. So I'll give you a couple more minutes, see if anyone's got any more questions for me. I'll just have a quick drink. Kevin's just said, ECB All-Stars and Dynamos take payment through Stripe. Does this mean we are already set up to use Stripe for match fees? Again, you're probably going to have to ask Stripe to see if it will come across. As far as I'm aware, if you have a Stripe account, you should be able to link it to your Picturo account. I'll double check that, Kevin, and I'll find out for you, because I'm not 100% sure if you have to set up a separate Stripe one, but I'll take your details off this and I will come back to you tomorrow on that and find out. That's a good question. Last minute or so, guys. I'm sure you've better things to do this evening than listen to me go on. Hope it's been useful. As I say, it will be sent out. The recording of this audio to send out and forward on to people. Don't forget, if you've got any questions whatsoever, it's support@picturo.com. If you go onto Picturo/Clubhouse, you can book demos on there. You can book onto the webinars. If you've got account managers, again, speak to your account manager, to me or Joe, book some time with us, and then we can then take it from there. Okay, I think we're done for the evening. So thank you very much indeed for logging on. Hope you're all well. Hope you're all safe as well. And we'll speak to you all, Jane, no problem at all. And we'll speak to you all very, very soon. Okay, stay safe, take care, and I thank you very much indeed.